going on, Alabama football fans? Happy Sunday. Happy NFL Sunday. I hope you guys have been enjoying the games today. Coming up on today's Alabama Football Report video, we're going to be talking about the latest news and rumors out there regarding guys who have entered the transfer portal for the Crimson Tide, as well as some targets who've been visiting over the weekend as well, and some of the latest updates on that today. But before we get into that, make sure you guys turn those notifications on for me. Do not miss any transfer portal news out there circulating. There's a lot of things going on right now. It's very, very fluid, so do not miss out. Make sure you guys turn those notifications on for me right now. First up on today's video, Saturday was a very unfortunate weekend for Alabama, honestly, overall. Because on Saturday, DeVonta Smith, no, not the old wide receiver, the defensive back for Alabama, primarily played that Husky position this year for the Crimson Tide, decided to enter the transfer portal. And I'll be honest, this one kind of surprised me a lot. I thought he was a guy, he's been in the program for a number of years now, only had, I think, one more year, of eligibility left. And, man, he was a real leader for you this year on defense. To me, he was like a top 4 player probably on defense for you. I think he was one of your defensive backs or best defensive backs this season. Didn't allow a touchdown. Really just, brought that dog mentality to the defensive backfield. There's a lot of times, you started some freshmen this year, started some guys that haven't had a lot of playing time. But, man, DeVonta Smith was one of those guys. Previous years he was, banged up and injured and wasn't able to get on the field that much for Alabama. But, man, he really did step up for the Crimson Tide this year, and I really thought he was going to be that Malachi Moore-esque leader for you next year. I guess Red Morgan, Deshaun Jones are going to be the guys there at that Husky position now for you. But, man, this one really does suck, DeVonta Smith hitting the transfer portal this weekend. So let me know here in the comments section, guys, was DeVonta Smith entering the transfer portal a surprise to you? It definitely was to me. Like I said, I thought he was going to be a real leader for you on that 2025 team, but this is the world we live in now. The transfer portal, guys hit it if they think there is greener grass on the other side, even though it does suck sometimes for the fan base out there. So what do you guys think? Was it a surprise for you? Type Y for yes or N for no at the pinned comment of today's video, especially if that ad comes right here on YouTube. Next up, Justice Haynes. This one hurts a lot too, in my opinion anyways. I saw some differing opinions out there on social media this weekend, but on Friday, Justice Haynes decided to enter into the transfer portal as well. And this was one that I was afraid of all along, right? He was on our transfer portal candidates list a couple weeks ago. I read some comments and people thought I was crazy for that, saying, why would Justice Haynes leave? Jalen Milroe is leaving. He's the one that took all the, reps for the most part from those running backs. And, when it comes down to it, it's just the usage. You saw it last year as well. Sure, you had Jace McClellan, Roydale Williams, but when you put Justice Haynes into that game during the Rose Bowl, he was the only one that could move the ball, and then they took him out. It's kind of the same this year. He had his ups and downs, sure, but still, overall on the season, over 5 yards per carry for him. I do not understand why this offensive coaching staff just refused to give your running backs the ball. Jam Miller, he got his share of carries, but really left Justice Haynes to be that third man out because Jalen Milroe was the guy that was, taking up a lot of reps for those running backs. And, I saw some, people trying to cope as well and be like, oh, well, he wasn't very good versus, SEC opponents. Well, still had 54 carries for 246 yards, still averaged 4.5 yards per carry against SEC opponents, 5 touchdowns as well. So I really just do not buy that excuse that he wasn't good enough against SEC opponents. Sure, there was times where he wasn't able to get it going, but still, if you're averaging over 4 yards per carry, that is good no matter who you are. And look, at the end of the day, this one really does hurt. And it really has nothing to do with NIL when it comes to Justice Haynes. I think a lot of this has to do with playing time and, the amount of carries that he was getting at the end of the day. We'll continue on here in just a moment with some transfer portal targets that Alabama is going after. But first, I want to give a shout out to PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Make your holidays bigger and brighter with PrizePicks. It is the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. PrizePicks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 different states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. This was our flex play that we went with today for the slate of games today. You had Patrick Mahomes. That's a freebie right there. You should throw those in for every single PrizePicks slate that you guys have. We went with the more than on passing yards there. It was just a half passing yards. Pretty much a freebie there. Jaden Daniels also hit that more than on passing yards today. So we went with the flex play. You don't have to get every single one of your picks correct to end up on top. If you want a bigger payout, you can go with a power play, but you do have to get all of your picks correctly on the power play there. So join now, because this holiday season, PrizePicks is giving away 2 free picks in December. You just saw one right there with Patrick Mahomes, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Download the app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. One more time for you guys, download the PrizePicks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You do not even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It is just guaranteed. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. It's PrizePicks. Run your game. All right, Alabama was also going after tight end Luke Hasz from Arkansas. He took a visit to Alabama last week, also ended up taking a visit to Ole Miss, and soon after that ended up committing to Ole Miss. And I will say, I don't necessarily think this one's a miss or anything like that. You know, he's the first guy that came in, especially at that tight end position, but you do need to get a tight end out of the transfer portal, I think, because you're losing C.J. Dupree, you're losing Robbie Utes, you already lost Danny Lewis Jr., so Josh Cuevas, he, I believe, only has 1 year of eligibility left as well. Then you're left with Ty Lockwood, Jay Lindsey, and the freshman that you signed this year in this 2025 recruiting class. So that tight end spot, they're probably not done yet. I would not say, you miss on one guy and you totally give up at the position. I think Alabama is definitely going to go out there and they're going to try to find somebody else to fill another void in that tight end room. We've also been talking about Kevin Concepcion, wide receiver out of NC State as well. He visited Alabama on Thursday through Saturday, so it was a very long visit for him. And per Pete Nakos, it, quote unquote, was a very good visit. We'll see what that actually does mean. But look, it would be a big pickup if Alabama could get another wide receiver. They've lost, I believe, 3 wide receivers now to the transfer portal. Like I said, he visited Alabama, also has a visit set up to Colorado on Monday and Tuesday, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. Texas A&M, Miami, Florida State, and South Carolina, also other teams in his top 6. One more time for you guys to get in the comment section here. How many players do you think Alabama will land out of the transfer portal? I honestly don't think it's going to be that many. I think it's probably going to be less than 5, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section of today's video. Next player up, we have not talked about this guy because the news didn't surface that he was interested in Alabama until this weekend. So this is the first video opportunity that we've had to discuss Mario Craver out of Mississippi State. I believe he's a freshman as well. Yeah, he was a 4-star recruit in that 2024 class. Also from the state of Alabama, from Clay Trockville High School over there in Pinson, Alabama. And look, for him being a freshman, he put up pretty solid numbers for Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State's not a very good football team, but look, if you could add somebody like this, you talk about the fact that he has 3 years of eligibility left as well. You're going to lose guys, as the years go on. You're going to lose guys to the transfer portal. You're going to lose guys to the NFL draft. So, look, right now I'm not super concerned about Alabama's wide receiver depth, but it would not hurt to at least add another 1, maybe 2 more guys in the transfer portal at that wide receiver spot. He also has a top 4 here, Texas A&M, LSU. Like I said, he's visiting Alabama on Monday, and Florida State as well, breaking into that top 4. Don't believe, I haven't seen anyways, there being any more visits scheduled for him with any of those other teams. But like I said, it would not hurt to add another wide receiver in that wide receiver depth chart.